At minus 71 degrees Celsius, the air itself feels hostile. In this cold, skin can burn within seconds, metal sticks to flesh, and even breathing too deeply hurts your lungs. Yet for the people of Yakutsk, this is not a disaster or an emergency. This is just another normal day. Children go to school, adults go to work, markets stay open. Life continues. My name is Diana, and I live in the coldest city on Earth. Today, I'll show you how we dress, move, and survive temperatures most people can't even imagine. Not as an experiment, but as everyday life. Yakutsk is often called the coldest city on Earth, but for the people who live here, it is simply home. Winter dominates most of the year, stretching endlessly with short daylight hours and temperatures that feel unreal to outsiders. In January, the average temperature hovers around minus 50 degrees Celsius, but that number does not tell the full story. There are days when the cold sinks far lower, crossing minus 60 and sometimes even approaching minus 70. When that happens, the air feels heavy, sharp, and unforgiving. At these temperatures, the cold is no longer something you can ignore. The moment you step outside, your face begins to sting. Your breath feels thick in your chest, and every inhale reminds you how fragile the human body is. Fingers grow numb within minutes, even when covered. Any exposed skin is at risk of frostbite, and small mistakes can become painful very quickly. Metal freezes instantly, and touching it with bare skin can cause serious injury. Yet despite all of this, Yakutsk does not stop. The city continues to move, slowly but steadily. Children still wake up early for school. Adults still leave their homes for work. Shops open, buses run, and daily routines continue as they always have. Over time, people here stop thinking of the cold as something extreme. Instead, they learn to respect it. Life in Yakutsk is built around preparation, caution, and experience. You don't fight the cold, you adapt to it. Because here, adaptation is the only way life can continue. In Yakutsk, clothing is not a choice or a preference. It is a system built through generations of experience with extreme cold. The first rule everyone learns is simple: never rely on a single layer. Warmth here comes from trapping air between multiple layers, creating a barrier between the body and the freezing world outside. The base layer is always the most important. Thick woolen leggings are worn directly against the skin, especially to protect the knees. In extreme cold, joints lose heat faster than other parts of the body, and frozen knees can cause deep, lasting pain. On top of this base layer, we wear thermal shirts and fleece sweaters that help maintain body heat without restricting movement. Every layer must allow the next one to sit comfortably above it. Tight clothing can be dangerous because it limits blood circulation. Next come wadded pants, designed to block the wind and seal warmth inside. They may look heavy and unfashionable, but their purpose is clear. In Yakutsk, you do not dress to impress, you dress to endure. The process of getting dressed takes time, and rushing is a mistake. Each layer is checked carefully, because even a small gap can allow cold air to reach the skin. When you step outside properly dressed, you don't feel warm, you feel protected. And in this climate, protection is everything. Footwear is one of the most critical parts of surviving winter in Yakutsk. Ordinary winter shoes are not enough here. Instead, many people rely on traditional Yakutian fur boots made from reindeer skin. These boots are handmade, often crafted using techniques passed down through families for generations. Their design is not based on fashion trends, but on centuries of trial and error in extreme cold. The fur inside the boots traps warm air around the feet, keeping them insulated even when ground temperatures are dangerously low. Unlike modern synthetic materials, natural fur breathes, preventing moisture from building up inside the boot. This is important because dampness in extreme cold can quickly lead to freezing. These boots allow people to stand or walk outside for extended periods without losing feeling in their feet. Despite their heavy appearance, these boots are also a form of cultural expression. Many are decorated with traditional Yakutian bead patterns, each design carrying its own meaning. For women especially, this is where practicality meets beauty. In a place where heavy clothing hides most personal style, small details become important. While warmth always comes first, these traditional elements allow people to hold onto identity, culture, and femininity even in one of the harshest climates on Earth. In Yakutsk, outerwear is where survival becomes visible. Most women here usually have two winter looks, both shaped entirely by the climate. One is more feminine, centered around fur coats made from mink or fox. These coats are extremely warm and offer strong protection against wind and cold, but they are also expensive and require careful maintenance. Wearing one is not about luxury, it is about reliability in extreme conditions. The second option is more practical and casual, a thick down jacket. These jackets are widely used because they are more affordable, easier to move in, and still provide excellent insulation. While they may not look as elegant as fur coats, they serve their purpose well in daily life. In Yakutsk, beauty is redefined by practicality. Warmth always comes before appearance. No matter which coat you choose, a proper hat is non-negotiable. Knitted hats are simply not enough for this level of cold. Most people wear fur hats, often made from Arctic fox. These hats protect the ears and head, areas that lose heat quickly. Mittens are also essential, especially those lined with fur and decorated with traditional Yakutian patterns. The face is the most vulnerable part of the body. Even a few minutes of exposure can cause frostbite. That is why people cover their faces almost completely, using scarves or masks and leaving only small areas exposed. In extreme cold, frostbite is silent. You may not feel it until the damage is already done. Now we arrive at one of the most striking places in Yakutsk, the open-air market. It is often described as the coldest open-air market in the world, and for good reason. Here, fish and meat are displayed completely frozen, preserved naturally by the air itself. No freezers are needed. The cold does all the work. What stands out the most, however, is not the frozen food, but the people selling it. Vendors stand outside for hours, sometimes the entire day, even when temperatures drop to -50 degrees Celsius. Some have been working here for decades. Others are newer, still adjusting to the routine. When asked how they manage, their answers are simple and direct. They wear more clothes. They work in shifts. When the cold becomes too intense, they step indoors briefly to warm up. There is no secret technique or special equipment. Experience teaches them how long they can stay outside and when it is time to take a break. Working here is difficult, but it is also necessary. People still need food, no matter how cold it gets. Fewer customers come on the coldest days, but life does not stop. The market continues, quietly proving how deeply adapted this city is to its environment. Despite temperatures that seem impossible, Yakutsk continues to function as a living, working city. Extreme cold changes routines, but it does not stop them. Public transportation plays a crucial role in daily life. Buses operate even on the coldest days, allowing people to travel to work and school without spending too much time outside. Waiting at a bus stop in -50 degrees is uncomfortable and painful, so timing becomes important. People learn exactly when to step outside and how long they can safely remain exposed. For those who own cars, winter requires additional preparation. Vehicles are often parked in heated garages, and car batteries are wrapped in thick blankets to protect them from freezing. In extreme cold, starting an engine can become impossible. Because of this, many drivers keep their engines running all day when temperatures drop too low. Turning the engine off could mean being stranded. These practices may sound extreme to outsiders, but here they are normal and necessary. The human body also has limits. After 5 to 10 minutes outside, fatigue sets in. The face begins to ache, fingers sting sharply, and toes grow numb. After 20 minutes, even experienced residents know it is time to go indoors. Living here teaches awareness. You learn to read your body's signals and respect them. Survival in Yakutsk is not about strength. It is about discipline, timing, and knowing when to stop. Life in Yakutsk is not defined by constant struggle. Over time, the cold becomes part of the background. People here do not wake up thinking about how extreme their environment is. They think about work, family, food, and routine just like anywhere else in the world. The difference is that every habit, every movement, and every piece of clothing has been shaped by the climate. There is a quiet acceptance that comes with living in such conditions. People do not see themselves as brave or extraordinary. They simply do what needs to be done. The cold teaches patience and preparation. Mistakes are costly, so care becomes second nature. You learn to move slowly, dress carefully, and never underestimate the environment. This way of life creates a deep respect for nature. In Yakutsk, the cold is not something to conquer, it is something to live alongside. Generation after generation has adapted, passing down knowledge that allows life to continue even in the harshest winters. Thank you so much for watching this video. Filming in these temperatures was not easy, and everyone involved felt the cold deeply. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like. Let me know what topics you would like to see next. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. See you in the next video. Bye.